The next thing I wanted to talk about was taxes again. Again with taxes? Yeah, again with the taxes. And I was thinking about it and realizing, we talked a lot about the marginal tax rate, but we didn't talk about all the other taxes that people pay when they have to pay their taxes. For example, when you have your income, let's just treat this like as a regular supply and demand graph, right? And you supply labor, so there's a market for labor, and this is the quantity of labor. What am I going to put here? Not price, but since we're talking about labor,
It'd be the real value.
I'll put wage. I'll put W for wages, okay? Let's suppose you earn $75,000. That's the number that's on your contract, on your salary contract. You actually get $75,000? No. We already know that you pay 16% in average your average tax rate. So that means that your income is less than $75,000. But do you know that you also have to pay your FICA taxes, which is Social Security and Medicare? That also affects your income. It reduces your willingness to supply labor, but it also means that your actual take-home pay is less. And then you also have to pay Medicaid taxes, which is 1.45%. And then you also have to pay Indiana state taxes, which is about 3%. If you own any property, you have to pay property taxes, but property taxes are a tax on wealth, not on income. What other taxes might you have to pay? You might have to pay sales taxes. Sales taxes is 7%. Now what about your employer? Well, your employer has told you your salary is $75,000, but they also have to pay the FICA tax. They also pay 6.2% on FICA taxes, and they also pay 1.45% in Medicare taxes. And then, if you're earning $75,000, they hope to be making some sort of a rate of return on what they're paying you. What's a competitive rate of return in the market? If you're going to invest in something, maybe 10%. That means that they got to pay another $7,500, 10%. Well, that's the rate of return that they're expecting from you. And so they're expecting to earn $7,500 off of you, but then they have to pay corporate profit taxes, which is again 21%. So they're going to have to pay taxes on top of that. Which means that in the end, this is the final equilibrium. This is how much you cost your employer, and this is how much you actually get. It's a little exaggerated. It's not to scale. Let's put it to scale. Let's put some numbers on this. I ran the numbers.
I have now largely inconsistent.
Suppose again your income is $75,000. First, you're going to pay, 16.586% income tax. Okay, that brings you down to $62,560.50. That's after your income taxes. Then you have to pay your FICA taxes. So let me put this here, that's 16.586%. Then you pay your FICA taxes, which is 6.2%. That brings you down to $57,910.50. Then you have to pay your Medicare taxes, which is 1.45%. That brings you down to $56,823. All right. Then you have to pay Indiana state taxes. Now, I want you to notice this percentage, and this percentage are all percentages of this number. So you're paying 6.2% of this when you move to that. All right. Then you also pay Indiana state taxes, which is 3.23%. That brings you down to $54,400. And then for everything that you buy, with the actual money that you get to keep, you have to pay 7% tax on all those things. So the actual value of the goods and services that you're actually able to buy is about $50,592. In the meantime, your employer has to pay that 6.2% FICA tax. That means that you cost them $80,737, but then they also have to pay the other half of the Medicare tax, and that brings the cost of you to them up to $82,312.50. Actually, I think I skipped the number. I'm sorry. I did. This should be $79,650. This should be $80,737. And then the profit tax, so you're worth $7,500 to them, and then they pay 21% tax of whatever their profits are on you. So that bumps their total cost of hiring you up to $82,312.50. This is what you cost them. This is what you get to buy, which means that the total tax paid is $31,720.04. That's a lot of money in taxes, isn't it? Is that more or less than what you expected? Less? More? I don't know. And that doesn't include the property taxes that you pay on your house. Well, I don't own a house. Okay, you don't own a house, but your landlord does, and your landlord has to pay property taxes. Don't you think he includes that in your rent? Of course he does. Of course he does. Right? So that doesn't include that. So that also further wheedles down your actual disposable, spendable income. Notice what else is happening. We started out here, and we moved to here on the graph for the quantity of labor. What is it called when the quantity of labor decreases? Unemployment. Taxes create a wedge for employment. And then there's one other thing to notice about this graph, and that's this. What do we call all of that? Those are the surpluses that would have obtained without any taxes, but now no longer do because these exchanges are no longer consummated. What do we call that? Dead weight loss. And that's not accounted for at all.